Welcome back to Market Fatafat on ET Now, a show where we are highlighting all the counters that are buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technical. And with this, on technical front, let me welcome on board Kunal Rambhia from the streets. Very good afternoon, Kunal, and thank you so much for your time. First of all, wanted to know your take on Voltas. This is the first stock that you have picked up, showing decent moves today. But is the stock getting ready for a bigger move in the times ahead?
Hi, very good afternoon to everyone. So if you look at the Voltas formation, it's been almost a year this counter is in sideways consolidation. The extreme bottom which we saw on the chart is around 820 and right now it's trading at around 840. I think this is now poised for a new rally and this entire consolidation is coming to an end. So with the stop loss of 825, I think one can initiate a buy on the same, and the first target on this can be 875 followed by 925.
Alright, moving on. Ankita, let's talk about Power Grid. This one has been on fire of late, but today particularly on back of some positive news.
That's correct. It is been in focus for quite a while, and today also they have been declared as a successful bidder to establish the interstate transmission system project for transmission system for evacuation of additional 7 gigawatts of repower from Khavda RE Park under phase 3. Part B on build, own, create and transfer basis, and they have also been awarded the letter of intent, and on the back of that we are seeing the stock up more than 0.5% in trade today.
Alright, moving on, let's put the spotlight on the big boy Reliance Industries. And why is that? Because Jefferies has come out with a note where they're seeing that they see markets are discounting Reliance's renewable equipment business, and they're expecting multiple triggers for the stock in the year 2024. What Jefferies is saying, that Reliance will commission the renewable equipment capacity by mid-2024, and that should save power costs by about $1 to $1.1 billion annually. They're saying even as the renewable equipment profitability is under pressure globally due to China's overcapacity, Reliance Industries will benefit from protective domestic regulation and access to the US market as well. They're also saying they see Jio tariff hike, faster broadband subscriber growth, as well as lower capex in Jio as well as retail in FY25 as a positive trigger for the stock, that's Reliance Industries. Therefore, they're maintaining a buy stance on Reliance Industries with a target price of 2,990 rupees per share. And as you can see today, actually Reliance Industries lending the support to the benchmark indices, is trading higher by about 1.1% as we speak.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to HCL Technologies from the IT space. This particular counter is in focus on the back of the news flow, where the company announced that Husqvarna Group selects HCL Tech as its exclusive partner of choice for IT and digital transformation. Husqvarna Group is a Swedish company and also a manufacturer of motorcycles. And what they say is that under this particular partnership, HCL would leverage its AI, digital engineering and support services to enhance the resilience and stability of the group's IT environment. So they haven't given the deal price of this one, but nevertheless, a positive news. Can't say that it's a big positive, but definitely mild positive news for HCL Technologies, and that's why this counter is in focus. But along with the IT space, the stock is holding up itself in the greens with 0.7% of gains.
Alright, Kunal, coming to you, let's talk about IRCTC. Everyone's been talking about railway stocks, but IRCTC has not given up that or given us that sort of an up move like the rest of the PSU or railway companies. Where do you see IRCTC headed from here on? No doubt the business model is pretty different from the rest of the other railway companies. But what's your take on this one? How is this one looking on the charts right now?
So as you correctly pointed out, this counter has been in sideways consolidation again since quite a long time, but on the charts we can see a perfect inverse head and shoulder getting formed. Now in today's session, when it's up by around 4%, it's giving the first breakout on the chart. The breakout is placed at around 735 and counter is right now trading at 744. In the future, I think one can initiate a buy at this. This entire consolidation is now coming to an end. It's offering the best risk reward ratio. One can initiate a buy with the stop loss of 730. And the first target on this, that's a positional target which I'm sharing, that's 775 to 780, likely to come by end of this month.
Okay, moving on then, let's shift focus to Patanjali Foods. Ashesha, tell us why is this counter is in focus? It had an analyst meet as well. Which are some of the key takeaways?
Well, yes, the management conducted an investor analyst meet yesterday, and some positive takeaways from that, because of which the stock is up 4.2% as we speak. The company said that they will focus on premiumization, digitization, brand upliftment and backward integration. Premium product launches in dry fruit and and sports segment is what they've highlighted. They say that they will be expanding their oil palm plantation in line with their long-term goals. They will also be expanding their food business in the South Indian region. As far as their biscuits business is concerned, handmade cookies and choco chip cookies will be launched. They also said that they will be adding oil plantation capacity. So several expansion and growth outlook is what the management highlighted, and hence the stock slightly off the highest point of the day, but despite that 4.5% higher in trade as we speak.
All right, Ankita, let's stay with the FMCG pack then. And Marico, why is this one in the spotlight?
Yes, Marico is in spotlight today because they have allotted some 31,020 shares for ESOPs, and the entire worth of this is likely to be around 129 to 130 crores, and on the back of that we're seeing the stock up 1% in trade.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to Geo Financial then. Kunal, this counter, a lot of these technical analysts don't often discuss, but you have picked this one. What exactly are you looking at on Geo Financials?
The post-listing, we saw this counter entering into a downtrend, and this downtrend started somewhere from the beginning itself. But since September so far, this counter is now making a curve formation, and this curve formation break just came yesterday. That's at 235. Today is a follow-through where we again saw the counter inching up to and making those highs of 250. Right now, it's trading at around 246. I think this can be a wonderful bargain buying opportunity again. One can initiate a buy with the stop loss of 235. Keep on buying even if it declines to near to those 235 levels. I think this entire negative consolidation is now making this counter into a positive trend. The target on this can be 265, and if that all-time high is taken out, I think the next target can be 295.
Shift focus then and put the spotlight on the entire pharma sector, or rather only one stock in the pharma sector, and that is Lupin. That one is in focus because it's got a nod from US FDA for a drug which is varenicline tablets, and this is what the company informed the exchanges. And the drug is actually a generic version of PF Prism series Chantix tablets, and it has an estimated annual sales above $430 million in the United States. But as you can see it on your screen, the stock is not doing much. In fact, given up all of this morning gains, trading lower by 1.2%. The tablets that they've got approval for is used as an aid to smoking cessation treatment, and they've said that the product will be manufactured at their Pithampur unit, but the stock is trading lower by about 1.2%.
Okay, moving on, let's talk about Green Panel Industries as well. This particular counter is in focus as the company has informed that their facilities have been affected due to the cyclone that is there in Andhra Pradesh. They have their MDF plant situated in Andhra Pradesh, and the operations have been disrupted due to the cyclone effect, and that's why this counter is in focus. But it was in red, open in the red today, but now, with the market seem to be recovering and almost at the day's highest point.
All right, moving on then, Kunal, let's talk about FCL. Sorry, it's Phenolex Chemicals is a counter that you want to talk about. How is it looking on the charts?
So yeah, Phenolex Chemical is again into within the curve formation. This counter was it really outperformed the market during 21-22, but it's been almost a year from November 2022 so far. This counter is making the sideways consolidation, and now if you look at the recent behavior and the volume action, this counter has picked up the volumes like never before, and now it's showing the breakout also. The breakout is placed at 365. The counter is already trading at 370. So one can definitely initiate a buy at the present levels. The stop loss will be 355. Keep accumulating. This counter is in a clear uptrend. I think the first target can be the all-time high, which is around 405, followed by 445.
Moving on, Ashesha powering gains once again on a couple of power stocks, that is NTPC and IEX. Tell us why are these counters in focus?
Well, yes, so Jefferies held a power summit and they hosted many of these managements. They hosted NTPC, IEX and the regulator CERC in independent sessions, and on the basis of that interaction, they've come out with a report where they say that the broad consensus is that peak power shortages are here to stay at least for the next 18 to 24 months. They say power demand strength is driven by both industrial as well as household segments. They believe that as India enters a phase of capex-driven GDP growth, power intensity should rise from here on. They've also spoken about some numbers where they say power generation and T&D investments should rise by as much as 2.2x to $280 billion over the period FY24 to 30 versus FY17 to 23. So some takeaways, some important takeaways that impact most of these power stocks, and hence NTPC and IEX are in focus today.
Alright, on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. When we come back, we'll continue talking about some more stocks moving in trade. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now, and let's continue talking about stocks that are moving in trade. And SW Solar or Sterling and Wilson Solar. Kunal, this one is having a good run in today's trading session, but what are the charts indicating? Do you think this will continue?
So the interesting observation on this chart is being that since Diwali, we can see a massive run up in this counter, which was trading at around 270, 280, has reclaimed the levels of 390 again. And today again, it's in circuit. But the interesting observation is that since 2022, that's November 2021, in fact, this counter has attempted almost 5 to 6 times to cross or surpass this 400 mark. Let's see whether this time it makes or breaks this level. If at all it manages to cross this 400 mark, I think the charts are indicating the all-time high very likely to come on the screen. So we just have to wait for a day or two. If tomorrow again it continues in the upper circuit, I think that will be the breakout zone. We can initiate a buy. The stop loss will be 375 in that case, and the targets can be almost 575 to 580.
Moving on, and another stock locked at an upper circuit is Sanghi Industries. Ankita, tell us the news flow.
Well, yes, Sanghi Industries is locked in the upper circuit, up a good 5%. It's on the back of the fact that Ambuja Cement has bought a 13 crore equity share of 51% stake in Sanghi Industries via open market transaction at an average price of 121 rupees per share. And the entire deal is valued at a whopping 1,627 crores. Now, Ambuja Cement now holds a controlling stake of 54%, approximately 55%. In SIL, Ravi Sanghi, Aditya Sanghi, Alok Sanghi, all three of them sold 6.2 lakh shares at an average price of 121 rupees per share. And Samruddhi Investor Services have also sold approximately 6 lakh shares at an average price of 121 rupees per share. And on the back of this news flow, Sanghi Industries is soaring in trade, locked in the upper circuit right now.
Alright, Kunal, let's talk about KRBL then, and how is this one looking on the charts?
Again, a perfect bargain buying opportunity on the chart. Reason being, since September 2022, this counter has made the bottom of around 350 almost 6 to 7 times. Just a couple of days back, it made a low of 350, and right now it's trading at around 355. And today's intraday volumes have been really attractive compared to the last 7 to 8 days. So it seems that the bottom is in place. One can initiate a buy with the stop loss of around 345, and the positional target on this can be 375 to 380 again.
Moving on, let's put the spotlight on Sun Pharma then. Sun Pharma informed the exchanges that its subsidiary is in licensing agreement with Aclaris Therapeutics, and under the terms of the agreement, Aclaris has exclusively granted Sun Pharma the rights to specific patents for using a very specific drugs, and on back of that, you can see the Sun Pharma was in focus. It saw a good uptick in the opening session, but now it's actually given up all of those gains. It's trading flat with a negative bias as we speak.
Okay, moving on, and from the banking space, let's put the spotlight on IDBI Bank. Kunal, tell us how the chart's looking like for this one.
See, this is the only counter which seems to be like underperforming as of now, and after making the crazy highs of around 74, it's now available at 64. But the interesting observation is that this entire sideways consolidation, which actually is offering a resistance on the chart, which is at around 65, seems to be now taken out. It's about to be taking out levels. So right now it's trading at 64. We should be waiting for the levels of 65 to come on the chart. If it manages to cross 65, one can definitely initiate a buy. Stop loss in that case will be 62, and the first target on this can be 75 followed by 85 levels.
Okay, moving on then, let's put focus on DCM Shriram. This particular account is in focus as the company has announced that they're going to be investing 189 crores to increase their capacity utilization, and DCM Shriram will expand their Uttar Pradesh plant capacity, and for that the company will be utilizing 189 crores. That's the additional capex plan announced by DCM Shriram, and that's why this counter is in focus, nevertheless holding up a gains of around 1%.
All right, just quickly putting a spotlight on the markets because we have actually reversed from those lows right now, inching towards the day's highest point. There you go. Broader markets are in fact at the day's highest point. When you talk about the small cap index, you have Nifty, Sensex also coming back. Remember, now we are approximately 60 odd points away from that coveted 21,000 mark when it comes for the Nifty. Sensex as well inching higher. Let's take a look at what Nifty Bank is doing actually, and whether Nifty Bank on an intraday basis has made that recovery or no, because we've seen the broader markets make a recovery. We've seen actually benchmark indices also make a recovery. So let's take a look at what Nifty Bank is doing in particular. I'll request my producer to show the chart for Nifty Bank, because remember, Nifty Bank was the first one to slip in the negative territory. There you go. It's still in the negative territory. 0.3% downtick coming in for Nifty Bank. But as market as a whole, definitely seeing a good set of recovery, Shrishti.
Well, yes, good recoveries, and even the metals have a good play to participate in this recovery. And from the pack, Nalco is the counter that is on Kunal's radar. So Kunal, tell us which are the next target for this one.
In fact, when we started the show, it was trading at around 90.96, and that was the reason I picked up this counter. This counter was looking very attractive. Now it's trading at around 100.50. One can still initiate a buy. It's a fresh breakout on the chart. The stop loss will be 95, and the first target on this can be almost around 120 to 125 from here.
Right, moving on then, let's talk about Bank of India, Ashesha. And just short while ago, we saw a flash in the bottom of the screen that mentioned that the QIP is in fact seeing strong demand. Is that your news spread?
Well, yes, that is clearly the reason the stock is in focus today. So the QIP opened yesterday. The company did inform the exchanges that they've approved and adopted preliminary placement document for the QIP. Floor price has been fixed at about 105.42 rupees per share, which is compared to yesterday's closing price is at a discount of about 4.5%. So on the back of these fundraising plans of the bank, the stock is in focus, 5.3%. In fact, at the highest point of the day as we speak.
Okay, putting the spotlight on Dalmia Bharat, then Ankita, tell us why is this counter in focus?
Well, Dalmia Bharat is in focus on the back fact that they have appointed Puneet Yadu Dalmia as the managing director and CEO for a period of 5 years, and that will be effective from 8th of December. And they have also appointed Mahindra Singhi as the strategic advisor to the managing director and CEO, and that will be effective from 9th of December. So two new inductions, and on the back of that, Dalmia Bharat is going to be in focus today.
All right, and that is Dalmia Bharat for you, and the last stock on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Kunal, Sumit, as well as Ashesha and Ankita for joining us on the show and taking our viewers through all the stocks that are in focus in today's trading session. But with that, we are quickly out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. But in tonight's episode of Leaders of Tomorrow, Lucknow Springboard, Chaitanya Suwanam, who's a managing partner of the startup banking at IDFC First Bank, emphasized the bank's alignment with the smart city vision, paralleling its journey of pivoting from corporate to retail focus. The segment also dwells into the transformation of Lucknow into a smart city and IDFC First Bank's role in fostering entrepreneurship. The second segment features Bal Sachin Gupta, who is the founder of V6 Arth Gyan, shedding light on Lucknow's multifaceted growth and the financial opportunity presents for young entrepreneurs. Mr. Gupta will provide personal finance tips, discuss the scarcity of wealth managers in India, and also stress the need for separating personal and business finances.
2018 December, the bank was having about 8% CASA ratio, and now we are about 46%. Phenomenal growth, As a seasoned banker, I would judge this growth to be really great, coupled with a great capital adequacy ratio and great NPA ratio, which is sustainable. I would judge this to be a very comfortable and sustainable growth.
There are a few common mistakes. It's like if you categorize the business persons in UP into three segments. There is A category of businessmen, the B and the C category. I'll talk to the bottom two categories. The personal cash flow and the business cash flow is not segregated. They are having the money withdrawn from their own business capital, and since there are two parts of the capital, one is the A part, the white part, and the B part, there is not a comprehensive accounting on both.
Right.
So either they are withdrawing the money from their capital from their interest, from their profit, or from the OD account, they are not very clear.